We have Brad Hoskins. Yeah, excuse me. And then I believe there was one other person that was on earlier, but oh, there you are, Leila Giuseppe. Hi. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us this morning. So I'll call to order the administrative hearing for August 6, 2020. My name is Ned Thomas. I'm the planning director for the city of Milpitas, and I'll serve as the hearing officer for this morning's hearing. We'll begin with a public forum. This is a public meeting, and members of the online audience, if any, may submit written comments to the hearing officer on any matter that's not on today's agenda. The online agenda for the meeting includes a web link to submit comments. That's available on the agenda. It's www.ci.milpitas.ca.gov/planning comment. Any comments submitted in writing will be read into the record by the hearing secretary. We request that speakers include their name and address for the record. Please limit remarks to 1 minute. No response is required from city staff or the hearing officer on any items not on today's agenda. Liz, are there any comments that have come in today?
Good morning. There are no comments.
Okay, we'll go right ahead into the public hearing. So for the public hearing portion of the agenda, the order of input will be as follows. I will identify the project as described on the agenda. I will ask staff to give a brief report. That will today be our associate planner, Lillian Van Hoa. The applicant or the representative will then have up to 5 minutes to speak and should identify themselves by stating their name for the record. If you don't wish to speak, you can just let us know that you're here and we'll move on. After the applicant or their representative has spoken, any member of the public who wishes to speak on the item may provide testimony up to 2 minutes per speaker, either for or against the project, and all speakers are requested to state their name for the record. Following comments from the public, the applicant may respond to the public comments or make additional remarks for up to 5 minutes. That's the order we'll follow. Today we have one item on our agenda, and we have our associate planner, Lillian Van Hoa, here to present the staff report. I'll turn the time over to Lillian.
Thank you, Planning Director and Zoning Administrator Thomas. Can I have my PowerPoint presentation up? Perfect. Okay, so my name is Lillian Van Hoa, and I'm an associate planner with the city of Milpitas. The item in front of you this morning is a site development permit to allow the development of a new 2,500 square foot service building located at 261 Bothello Avenue. Next slide, please. The applicant is requesting a site development permit to allow demolition of an existing 752 square foot wood structure and development of a new 2,500 square foot service building with reconfigured parking and other site improvements on a 1.9 acre site zoned heavy industrial M2 located at 261 Bothello Avenue. A site development permit is required for additions greater than 10% of the existing building gross floor area, subject to review by the zoning administrator. Next slide, please. This map shows a general location of the site and all of the proposed changes to the project site. So the proposed new structure is going right there in between the existing office building and the existing service building. And then they'll also be doing some ADA parking upgrades and demoing the wood structure highlighted on the screen. Next, click again. And this zoning map shows that the parcel is zoned M2 heavy industrial, and it's surrounded by other heavy industrially zoned parcels as well as mixed use properties to the west, and it is in the Midtown specific plan. Next slide, please. So this is the overall site plan of the project. A little bit about the applicant. United Rentals is the world's largest equipment rental provider and offers construction, industrial and homeowner equipment for rent to the public. This facility in particular rents forklifts, high lift booms, and scissor lifts. The new 2,500 square foot service shop will be located in between the existing shop and the office building. The scope of work, as I said, includes the demolition of the existing wood structure, the reconfiguring of parking and associated paving and draining, and adding a ramp drive aisle to the adjacent parcel, as well as additional site lighting. If you could click, and then one more time. The new metal building will be painted to match the existing shop building shown here. Next slide, please. Staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with the site development permit. Those findings have been addressed in the memorandum. Next slide, please. To date, no public comment has been received by staff. Next slide. And staff would like to take a moment to acknowledge a change in the conditions of approval. This condition should have been included in the memo that was published last week. So condition number 16 will now say that pursuant to the Milpitas Municipal Code, private non-residential building developments involving 2,000 square feet or more of new floor area shall be subject to the city's public art requirement. Because this project involves a structure that's 2,500 square feet, they will be subject to the public art requirement. And so the applicant shall either provide public art on site or pay the in lieu fee, which is set at 0.5% of building development costs payable at building permit issuance. And the new memorandum with the updated condition of approval has been uploaded to the website as of last night, and it should be there this morning. Next slide. So staff recommends the zoning administrator open the public hearing to receive comments, move to close the public hearing, and recommends that the zoning administrator approve P-SD19-0013 to allow the demolition of an existing 752 square foot wood structure and development of a new 2,500 square foot service building with reconfigured parking and other site improvements on a 1.9 acre site located at 261 Bethel Avenue, subject to the findings and the attached conditions of approval. This concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you, Lillian. Appreciate your staff report. So does the applicant have any additional comments that you would like to make at this time?
My name is Lila Giansetto. I'm the architect. I wanted to clarify one thing. It's actually in addition to the existing shops building. I don't know if that matters. It's the only clarification I have. Brad Hoskins, the representative from United Rentals, is also on the call. So if you have any questions of either of us, we're here to answer anything you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Brad, did you have any additional comments that you'd like to make at this time?
Brad, you're still muted.
Oh, I'm still muted.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, I'll get used to this technology one of these years. Still prefer two soup cans and a string.
We're all adjusting.
No, what I was saying is, no, I think pretty much everything was covered. And like Lila said, this is intended to be just in addition to the existing shop building and to help facilitate the repairs and that of our equipment. And but I'm free here to answer any questions you might have about the operations or anything I can help in relation to what we're looking to do here.
Okay, great. Thank you. Again, we appreciate you being here with us this morning. And with that, then I'll ask Liz, do we have any comments that have come out in via email from the public?
Let me check. No public comment received.
Great, thank you. We'll close the public hearing part. And this is a pretty straightforward application, and which is why it doesn't go to the Planning Commission. It comes to this administrative process, and it makes it a little bit easier. We're a little more informal, and it's a little easier to run through the procedures that need to take place. So usually what I'm required to look at are the findings that are included in the municipal code for this type of a project. And there are 4 of those. I'll go through them really quickly. The first one, I'm going to do them a little bit out of order that they're shown in the staff report. But the first one, I think in my mind, is that the project has to be consistent with the Milpitas general plan. And the general plan, of course, covers the entire city. It lays out different types of land uses. As was presented in the staff report, this project is consistent because the area is designated under the general plan for manufacturing and warehousing, and that's the type of project that this is. There are several policies that are outlined in the staff report from the general plan that the project also meets that consistency requirement. The next one is this area happens to be under what's called the Midtown Specific Plan. So we have the general plan, and then the specific plan is just under that. The specific plan, again, designates this area for this type of use, and there is a specific policy in the plan that provides for quote, the continuation of manufacturing and warehousing and light industrial uses near the rail yards. So the specific plan covers a very large area, and it guides change in the area primarily along Main Street, all the way from the southern boundary of the city up to past the library. So it covers a very large area. This happens to be on the other side of the railroad tracks from that. And again, it's consistent with the type of land use that is envisioned by the Midtown Specific Plan. The next finding then would be consistent with the Milpitas zoning ordinance. And once again, the zone of this area is M2 heavy industrial, and the proposed building is complies with the development standards in the zoning ordinance. So the zoning ordinance puts forth all of the setbacks and the parking requirements and those sorts of things. And again, Lillian has laid that all out in detail in the staff report, and we can make the finding of consistency. And then the fourth or the last finding for approval is that the layout of the site and design of the proposed building structures and landscaping are compatible and aesthetically harmonious with the adjacent and surrounding development. And as was noted by the architect, this is an addition to an existing building. The materials, the architectural style, if you will, and the materials and colors are all compatible with the existing building on the site. And Lillian describes that also in detail in the staff report, and has analyzed that and found that it's also consistent and meets this finding. So again, a very straightforward application. We meet all of the findings, and so with that, we'll approve the site development permit P-SD 19-0013. This covers the demolition of the 752 square foot wood structure and development of the new 2,500 foot service building, or the addition to the building. There was an additional memo attached to the staff report, and this included conditions from the building department, the engineering department, and the fire department. And those, from my reading, those were more or less guidance for you as you proceed with the project. As you apply for the building permit, then those additional conditions would apply. Is that correct, Lillian? It looked like all of those were sort of almost like future advisement for a building permit application.
Correct.
Great. All right, thank you. So with that, the project is approved. We thank you for your time and the effort that's gone into this, and we wish you well as you proceed with the building permit and construction of the building. So, again, thanks for your time this morning. Unless anyone has anything else, the legalese, the hearing officer's action on today's agenda item will be final when the permit is signed and mailed, unless the permit or the environmental clearance determination is appealed. Any person aggrieved by any decision of any board, commission, or department head to the city may appeal the decision to the city council by filing written notice of the appeal with the city clerk within 12 calendar days of said decision and paying the required fee. The time limit is strictly enforced. So there is an appeal period that will, you're welcome, if you haven't done so already, you're welcome to go ahead and submit your building permit application, and we'll process that through the building department. Even though City Hall is closed, we're doing everything electronically and seems to be working well. So hopefully things will go very smoothly and you'll be able to get under construction quickly. With that, that concludes our administrative hearing this morning for August 6, 2020. And we thank everyone for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ned.
All right. And if there's any additional follow-up, Lillian will follow up with you. If you have any questions, you can get with her as well. I think you have her contact information. So thank you again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
All right.
you. Bye.